B21.1 has released, and within it is two major changes to how spawns function in the game. These changes were supposed to be in B20, but due to crashing issues, they were held back and put in a future patch. First, we're going to look at the rally point. It is now a physical item within the squad lead's inventory. Just like the ammo bag, it can be picked up. There is a 2-minute cooldown in between each use, so if you pick up your rally point within the 2-minute window, you cannot place it down till the cooldown has expired. Aside from picking up your rally point, you can also resupply off an ammo bag, ammo crate, and vehicle. Obviously, if you're going to put a rally point down while another is active, your previous will be removed. Due to time constraints, I wasn't able to test Buddy Rally with the Insurgent faction, but I'm guessing there's two outcomes. You Buddy Rally, spawn, and you'll have a rally in your inventory still, and when you place it, the Buddy Rally removes. Or if you place a Buddy Rally and you spawn, you won't have a rally in your inventory. Anyone that does know the answer, please leave a comment below. Next, we're going to be looking at the fob changes. A new bleed out system has been added to prevent instant destruction of fobs. What this means is, if an enemy comes onto your fob, puts down an explosive, and sends it sky high, and then the radio will enter a bleed out stage. This is a 60-second window where the enemy cannot touch or damage the radio further, but allows the friendly team to dig up or remove the radio themselves. If you don't use an explosive, and you try to dig down the enemy radio, it will only go down to the final stage, and then the bleed out system will kick into effect. If the friendly team does not start repairing the radio to the threshold, within 60 seconds the radio will disappear, taking everything with it. So my thoughts on these two changes. First, I'll start off with the rally point. I understand the point was to reduce the effectiveness of the rally point itself, making it more supportive in attacking and defending, rather than being a main spawn overtaking the hab. And the change does do that to a degree. Problem is, it could be a little too unforgiving, especially for new players. I'm not saying that we should always cater to newer players, as that has led to some issues in the past, such as Buddy Rally itself. But I do think there needs to be some adjustments with the recent change. Currently, helicopters and vehicles, even people, they can just drive or stroll on by a rally point not even knowing it's there, and it's gone. This is being somewhat addressed in B22, where helicopters will no longer be able to proximity wipe rally points. I personally think rally points should not be proximity wiped, but rather have to be physically dug down or blown up by an explosion, similar to what happens in Postscriptum. I think this would complement the new way rally points are right now. It would still remain fragile, but removing them would actually be a decision done by the enemy themselves instead of them just randomly strolling by and not knowing it was there. Now moving on to the new hab change. The recent change does increase fob survivability, but there are some underlying issues. In squad currently, and for a long time, it has been very easy to spam fobs all over the map. This results in a non-stop chain of enemy attacks on defense and attack objectives, and the remedy to that was combat engineers going around and just yeeting, deleting everything. Now the combat engineer being overly effective and destroying fobs willy-nilly was pretty bad. And with this patch, that has sort of been removed, but the fob spam still remains. Now with fobs being essentially buffed and more resistant to being destroyed, it's going to increase the grind to taking them down, and when you have multiple fobs surrounding your defense point or attack point and the enemy just constantly stream in, it's essentially going to be a clusterfuck. And for the assaulting team, the chance of diminishing returns and taking a fob is going to be quite high. Depending who is on your team, it could take multiple attempts to take down an enemy fob, or multiple fobs I should say as well. And with that is a lot of ticket cost invested into the assault. Again, this depends on who's on your team and who's on the enemy team, but at the end of it you're rewarded with only 10 tickets taken away from the enemy. I personally think that it should be increased to maybe 20 or 30 similar to the old days. Increasing the ticket count itself could prevent fob spam and making more thoughtful fobs, as well as rewarding the players for removing the enemy fob itself, so it's basically two birds one stone. Anyway, that's my thoughts on these two changes. I usually like to keep these videos shorter, but I felt like I needed to voice my opinion on this since they are quite significant changes. Anyway, that's all I want to cover for this video. I'll put the patch notes down below in the description, and until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.